Welcome back to Wrestling with Ski. That was about the 95th time, but it worked. And I'd say there were some high points. Last night, uh, definitely some high points. Definitely some points. And a lot of wasted time. It just felt things that could have been, better. Like, what's the point of having it there if you're literally gonna have it last like snap of a finger? Like, don't understand the theory behind that or the process behind that. But I mean, that seems to be what they like to do lately. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can physically do about it. But I will say that, state very clearly that starting off with that steel cage match between Big E and KO, regardless of who won, a hell of a way to start out a show. Might have been very close to the best thing they had all night. But hell of a steel cage match. I mean, you think of two people you want to see just beat the hell out of each other. I mean, they definitely hit the mark there. We know what Big E's, proving he can do. We know what KO can do. He's proven that for years and years, pre NXT, around the world. NXT main roster when they actually give him the opportunity. I mean, look at everything he did with Roman last year. I mean, that was great. Like, that stuff that they did together at all those pay-per-views was phenomenal. Hell, I think it was even earlier, the beginning of this year. Like, they were just tearing the place down all over the place, no matter what they did, and having great matches for a couple months. And I was okay with it. Wonder why? Because he's actually one of the best, wrestlers they have. But there's other people that get, priority on the pecking order, and I get that. But I will say takeaways from that match, that was a hell of a sunset flip bomb from KO to Big E, and damn, was that a hell of a thud. When Big E went slamming into the mat, that was always good to see. It's good, the big guys, taking bumps like in those situations when it's necessary. And I will say Strowman and Lashley hitting like Big E like this year. Once Lashley got the title, I mean, there were like Strowman was in there, like all of them were taking really big bumps and doing all kinds of, nothing crazy, but they were taking them, which was intriguing just to see them do it. And they were doing it at appropriate times, which was really the big one. I would say that's the key takeaway, is doing it right. And that was another one of those things they did right. And Biggie winning, climbing out of the cage with a big ending off the second rope. That was, a good big move. Don't go for the pin, just crawl out. Which was a good, way to do it. And it set up what I felt they did, at least the beginning, wrong. Like when they were both crawling for the door. Anyone listening to this that was watching Raw or seen Raw or can go back and watch Raw, please enlighten me if you didn't see Seth slamming the door on both of their heads coming. You're just sitting there waiting, like, he's coming, and then kaboom! So, and he finally showed up. Like, we all saw that coming. So I give you bad marks for that, because we all knew it was coming. And granted, I mean, they have to have him do it in some like shape or form, but that obvious. I don't like it when we can all see it coming. Those aren't the things that I like. I'm sorry. Like, do it in a different spot, not in the same exact spot that everyone's done it for decades. And then the attack on KO, afterwards, attack on Big E right after he got out of the cage and one got back to his feet. That was okay. And Big E getting up, getting a big ending on Seth and KO afterwards. I'm cool with that. I'm not cool with Lashley coming out and attacking them all after the fact during commercial. Like, Lashley do his big attack and you do it during commercials. So, I mean, granted, all that accomplished was we got to waste a whole lot more time showing the replay and everything that happened. But why, if he's going to attack everyone like that, why have him do it during commercial break when literally, I mean, gave the live crowd son, which is good. I will give you that. It gives them a great experience, but they get to see the matches during commercial when all the people that, on TV can't. So, I mean, that's a big thing. Him just saying, "Hey, I'm here," and taking everyone out. Well, I don't get why they did that. necessarily just in that way, but him inserting himself back in there. I mean, again, I thought that was the best Lashley we ever saw during the Hurt Business when he was champion. He's putting on, in the matches where he actually had to have matches, they were all good. Like, hell, even Hell in a Cell against Xavier Woods was still like not a bad match. I mean, he was letting Xavier get away with a lot of stuff. Yeah, and letting him like it was actually a match. So I like where they're going. I just don't know why they did it that way. But again, he attacks them all. That could lead to day one doing something, the Royal Rumble doing like that could lead to so many different things to insert himself back into the title picture with WrestleMania right around the corner. So I get it. I like them doing during a commercial break. It is what it is. Another waste where Queen Zelina, with Carmella, defeated Nikki ASH with Rhea Ripley in her corner. And really, my only takeaway besides that was really, really quick win for Zelina hitting the code red and getting the win. Like all of it total was one segment. Like Queen Zelina going between the fake Royal accent and her Brooklyn accent in that same time as she was walking to the ring. Maybe it was just my ears, but like either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. Stop like doing this in between thing. Just let her have that just let her have her accent, her New York accent. Just be miserable. I didn't say it, so I can't get in trouble. But just let her be her. Let her do that. The fake accent just kills me. And again, a really, really quick match and just segment all together. We got to see Riddle and Randy backstage, which was good. Riddle in those damn blazers that they got Randy to wear. And I thought he was going to get him to break. I mean, you saw him turn away and just for a second. So I thought he was going to get Randy to, break on TV, but he didn't. Damn shame. But that led to a first round match in the RK Bronament, figure out the number one contenders for the tag titles between the Street Profits and AJ Styles and Omos, who they defeated. I mean, like it was a bad match because we all know what all of them are capable of. I mean, but how athletic, charismatic, how good they can talk, how over they are. I find it mesmerizing that the Profits haven't been a serious threat or champs in this long. Granted, there were some injuries and stuff like that, but it seems weird because people were all over it and loving you catching. I mean, cares who it is. Like I felt they should get more. And then Omos tagging himself in and gets him counted out. It helps the Profits move on. Then he walks out on AJ. See where that goes. It hasn't been. It really actually has been that long. It seems since AJ got Omos. So I mean, really, time's flying on that one, isn't it? Now you think about it, but is he ready for them to split? I don't know. For him to go out on his own, we're gonna find out. It's just gonna be one thing and they move on. I don't know. Didn't see it coming. I mean, sooner or later, we all knew it was gonna come. It's just what are they gonna do with Omos then? Especially with the Rumble coming up and all that. Yeah, because he's such a big SOB. What are they gonna do with him? How do they play that card? That, my friends, is a good question. How do you play that one with him this close to it? Looking forward to seeing it. I mean, I figured the Mysterios would, but that's coming too. That has to be coming. But I figured they'd have some kind of thing before those two just to get Omos more experience. But I mean, them being champions, there's only so much they could do. I said it repeatedly. I'm sure people that listen to this and watched it themselves thought it repeatedly. Them as champs is just like, Nia and Shayna. Like, no offense to them, but they can only do so much with so many people with just the size disparity between, Nia and the rest of, most of them. Why Tamina was perfect because she's not like big. She's just, she's got the strength and the size and all that to match that, compared to pretty much the whole rest of the roster, minus like Dewdrop. So that made sense when they drop it to them. Like it's just, I don't know. AJ and Omos, we'll see what they do with it. As long as AJ's got more upside than Omos. I mean, just I don't know. We haven't seen him do a lot of stuff. He dominated that battle royal, so I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have something planned for the Royal Rumble, but hopefully they don't give it to him because I just don't think he's ready. I think he'll just be the hell are they gonna do to make that a good match? I don't know, but Damian Priest has a U.S. Championship Open challenge, which gets answered by one Robert Roode with course, Dolph Ziggler right there at his side. And I've always liked Rude. I always thought that. I mean, I thought his stuff before WWE was great. I thought his stuff in NXT when it was, before they ruined it. This was years ago though. Was like great as champion. Like I thought you'd look at him, you're like, what, chiseled? Like he has to look to be champion. But again, it's probably his size that hindered him from getting there. Fully there. The fact he came from, it's just there's not a lot of guys to get there. But he pulled off a hell of a good backstabber, and he has one of the prettiest spine busters still going on. I'll argue people over that spine buster. Like that's a pretty spine buster. Him and Priest again had a good match, and Ziggler with the super kick after the match to Priest. Now we at least know where the United States Championship is going forward, because obviously, I mean, I've been going off on everyone for this whole disrespect thing and all that. For some reason, I don't see him taking that super kicks too nicely and just letting it go. So at least we know where that's going. Again, Ziggler can have great matches. So obviously, that's why he's still there. Like Ziggler, like you'll know how good someone is, because it's not going to be Ziggler's fault if it sucks. That was that. It was a good match though. I mean, for Rude, you don't get to see a lot of them. Singles matches just because him and Ziggler in the tag team and all that. But I think he's very competent. Backstabbers, pretty ass spine buster. Like there's all kinds of good stuff there. So we'll see where it goes. Hopefully they don't have Priest drop the belt to Ziggler. No offense to him, I just don't think he needs it. I think there's other young talent that can be thrown in that position to keep going with him, but I think they'll put on a hell of a good match or matches if it works out. Bianca Belair and Doudrop was pretty much just another waste of time. Doudrop got the jump and he started barreling down the ramp to attack Bianca beforehand, and then by the end of the match, she just walked out and got counted out. Whatever you want to call it. Like I wasn't thoroughly all too impressed with it. The fans really didn't seem to be too in it. I mean, they're more in it for Bianca's side than Doudrop's. How they went for having so many people like in it to, well, they had Eva Marie by her side, of course. So everyone like, yeah, what kill her. I get that, but that was something. Vince and Theory still doing their thing. Theory wasn't ready for the match. They told him to go, you have to press him some other way. We'll get to that later, but we'll see where they go with that whole Theory and Vince thing. Not a hell of a slap last week. So obviously, they keep doing it. It's going somewhere, but see how that plays out. Miz TV with Edge. I think it was maybe not slightly better, but on par. Maybe a little better than the original one last week, because the last week just felt so scripted. And this one, obviously, there was a little more heat to it, a little more fire, and it wasn't very close to what they did on Dynamite. So I think it was done AEW. There you go. I think it was Dynamite though. So this was better. Big ridiculous takeaway though. Miz claiming that on the real world, that because the real world, he was more famous than 90% of the locker room when he got to WWE. I'm gonna have to beg to differ on that one, but I'm just gonna leave that at that. That show, I mean, the real world, well, it was great. I'm pretty sure it's gone now. I don't know. I don't watch MTV. But look at the people that are on that roster. 90% of the roster. I'd probably beg to differ. Most people that don't watch wrestling, they weren't watching the real world either. Just saying, like he might have brought some people over because they hated him, just how he was on the real world, to see what he could do, to see him, get mauled. But I mean, he went 90%. But at least at day one, we get to see a match between the two of them. So we'll see how that works. I mean, matches have been great since he came back with storytelling and all that. So it should be really, really good. Like I'm looking forward to that. We know the Miz can wrestle, so I'm really looking forward. It's going to be good. Like that one we know is going to be good. So let's just, and him cocking back and the Miz slipping and falling, trying to dodge and get out of the way. So $9,000 shoes too. Like that just hurt my head. I think I spent that much money on all my shoes combined. I had to buy boots in the Marine Corps and stuff. Like, just weird how people do that. I even bring it up. But anyway, moving on. RK Broniment continued with the match between the Mysterios and the Alpha Academy. It's Riddle on commentary, but he was alone this time because Randy said he was done. Dom stole that match on Gable out of nowhere. Like, if he didn't see it coming, he rolled out. It was, again, really, really fast. Like, it was so fast, Ray and Otis didn't even get in the match. Like, it was that fast. It was as fast as a hiccup. 1 minute they're there, next minute, gone. So, I mean, they didn't even make tags. We'll see where they go with that, where they go with the Alpha Academy. I think it's a damn shame because we all know what I feel about Gable and his talent. And the whole thing with Otis, I mean, it works. So I can't believe that happened. And we did at least get to see probably, hopefully, some bit of the future, though. After the match, Riddle jumped in there to do his, journalistic Riddle. And he got slammed by Otis. So I'm sure that's going to lead to something down the line. Another quick one was Finn Balor defeating T-Bar. It's a damn shame that he's still T-Bar, not Dijakovic. I mean, like, she got to go back to being Mia Yim, even though they never used her and dropped her. Like, so I don't get it. But I think he's still making the best out of the gimmick, too. I mean, he's still putting on good matches, for the little bit they let him have. But Finn wins. And that was another really cool. Like, the entrances were longer than the match. Then Theory attacked Finn afterwards to try to, impress Vince or something. So there's that. I really think that Finn and Theory, if they let him go, could be really, really good stuff right there. Good test forms. We all know, how Finn works and what he could do, and all that. So I think that's going to be a phenomenal thing. Whenever they finally get to it, throw out all this Vince and Finn thing, as long as they don't throw a bunch of stupid in there, which I'm sure they're going to throw stupid in there, just like through that stupid golden egg. So I'm sure there's more stupid to come, but if they don't get too stupid, I think that could be like gold for them. And again, hopefully T-Bar can go back to being Dominic Dijakovic or something. Just let the man go back to it. T-Bar died. Like, the day Retribution actually debuted and showed up, it was dead. Fact. Reggie blocked Tamina from getting to, immediately getting to Dana in the 24/7 title. So I don't know where the hell we're going with all that. And then the main event, Big Time Bex successfully defending against Liv Morgan on the anniversary of Trish and Lita main eventing. There's flurries of really good stuff, but I don't know. It just felt odd to me and weird. Nothing personal, because I love both of them. It was just, I don't know, there's really good stuff, and then there was just, there's a bunch of, if you were watching that, I'm pretty sure we all saw a bunch of, comment and tell me that there wasn't a bunch of, but I think there was, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. Then Becky getting to the bottom rope again, like she won against Charlotte for the win. I mean, obviously that should probably lead to something at day one, or a rematch somewhere. So we'll see if that's what they actually do with it. But it was still decent match. I mean, I'm not sure like Raw main event. I mean, but it is Raw. That could have been the beginning, and then the steel cage could have been at the end. You could have Lashley come out and everyone there and just attack everyone as they went off the air to reestablish himself, and boom, I just fixed the whole entire problem for you. They always say that was. That's boom. I don't know. Again, it wasn't terrible. Just a bunch. It just felt weird to me. It just felt off. Match seemed weird. Some botches here and there. The timing, there was just a bunch of weird. I don't know. But I'm not taking anything away from either. We know Becky could do and Liv. We all remember where she was when she started skill wise compared to now. So it's a vast improvement. It's just, it was weird. Sorry. I have no better word for it. That was weird. Feel free to comment and tell me exactly what you felt about it. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But overall, though, I mean, there's so many just quick segments and stuff. Like, it wasn't like I want to say I was excited about it, but was I really? I mean, it's just really, really just a bunch of weird stuff, man. Bunch of short matches, short segments. I don't know. Wasn't a complete waste. I mean, there's a lot of good spots. And Finn in Theory, again, that should be good. Big E and them, the cage, that was good. Just Street Profits and the Mysterios. I mean, that should be a really good match next week, literally. just with everyone involved. So, there was some good stuff, but I don't know. It's just the same old like thing to me. Just rushing through a bunch of segments, Selena having an accent and then not having an accent and then going back to having an accent. Like there's just so much of it that I don't know. One the greatest thing in the world to me, but the greatest thing in the world to me also. Yeah. I again, you know, yeah, I'll go with the greatest thing about today is I'm not going to watch NXT. I mean, so I'll watch it first thing tomorrow morning while Hannah's at work, but I'll be at an NXT, yeah, at a Breaking Benjamin acoustic show here in Jacksonville, which still baffles me that they're even coming here. So at least I get that after watching that. And again, it wasn't bad. It was just a normal, it's felt the same to me. Nothing exciting, but comment and let me know what you think. With that being said, I'm jumping off. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and repeat all the videos, all the audios, share them out. That helps me immensely. You could follow along on all the platforms. I'm all over the place. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts, Sketcher, Breaker, Anchor. Yeah, I'm all over there. So me and Justin, Hannah, Dan, all of us, we all appreciate it. So again, share them all out, comment and tell me what you think. And just click subscribe and follow on all the channels and comment on stuff because that helps us get more, noticed. Actually helps get everything out there. But make sure you let me know what you think. Enjoy NXT tonight or whatever you're doing. Tomorrow I'll be back on to talk about probably both the concert and NXT. And we'll get into like theme songs and music just to make it all make sense. And we'll be back then. So thanks for checking me out. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and repeat on all video and audio. And I'll be back tomorrow. So until then, enjoy the rest of your night and peace.